Now we are on part 3 and we're taking out the pump. We're going to examine it just a bit, and then after that put it to the side. Now inside that pump area is an O-ring. You can't forget to take that out. You will see my taking it out pretty soon. There it is right there.
I don't know.
Maybe one in here.
That's him.
And it ain't me.
I ain't even mean by the motor trying to figure out what's really going on here. How much money you think?
Okay, there is some metal definitely in this transmission. Something broke. Now we're going to maneuver this in a way where we can take loose the back half of this transmission. And when we take loose this back half, we will be able to keep both pulleys or variators together. That's going to be the idea. So right now I'm going to just get it where we can disassemble it. Okay, now here we are taking loose the number 13 bolts on the case. We're going to leave the tins on there because we're taking loose just that back cover. Now the cover that I'm taking off, if you have a problem with this pulley assembly, this whole assembly will be or can be bought used. You can just set it back in, but in this case we're going to disassemble this one, and I'll show you what we need, so follow closely. As I'm using here, I have a screwdriver. You have to break the seal, and then you have to lift the whole unit up. Now if you have some type of hoist, you can do that if it's too heavy. It probably weighs about 50 pounds, but you have to get it loose where you can get underneath and lift it completely out. So we're doing that right now. Okay, and there you have it. Those are the variators, the pulleys. We're going to take that and set it to the side. I see the problem. Deal with this one later. But we're going to set it to the side and deal with that part later. Now we see there are some pieces here that fell out of those variators. They are not supposed to be in there, so they are broken, and that's what I am examining now to see what all happened in this transmission, which I know what happened. The reverse planetary and the reverse clutches are bad. This is a common problem with these transmissions, one of the common problems. Now, what I'm going to do there, if you look where I'm pointing, there is a speed sensor in there. It's very long, so you want to take that speed sensor out, because if you're going to remove anything in there, it will be in the way. So you take the 10mm bolt out and you pull it out, and then what you can do to make sure you don't lose that bolt is screw it back in partially and set the sensor to the side. Now if you look down in there, I'm showing you where there is damage that has been done to this transmission. That's the ring gear there. So that part there is not the ring gear. That is a cover. A snap ring goes on there for the reverse planetary, and you can see there where it's been damaged around the edges there. Okay, in the middle. Now take the ring gear out that the planetaries ride inside. But there's a snap ring. That snap ring popped out. Shouldn't be there. Okay, here's the ring gear.
You put the parts in the trunk?
And okay, you see where it's scored pretty badly there. Okay, and inside the teeth you will see it's damaged. Okay, so that will have to be replaced.
Did you have the battery hooked up? Yeah, Billy hooked it up.
Sits down just like that, come out. There's a plastic washer that's inside there. That plastic washer, if it's damaged, will have to be replaced also.
Well, all the grounds are off too. Off this motor. Yeah. You coming, Billy, with the truck? Let me put my jacket on.
Okay, this snap ring taken out of the forward plates, and that's the forward pressure plate, and these are the forward clutches. And if you look at the forward clutches, they are okay. There's no problem here. The car didn't have problem moving forward. It had problem with no reverse. So you can take the forward clutches, examine them very well, and make sure that the friction material is still on there. You can see they're almost like new. And you see there's a way that it goes in there. They have a certain way they fit into slots. And if I zoom in, you will see how that wide area fits right there in the slot. Okay, you put those to the side, and let's see. There's the little black washer. I think I'm taking it out. It should be out there. Here it is, right there. Okay. Now, the next step is to clean that case out, because it has lots of metal in it. You can put in a part washer, and then we move to bringing the variators back. Now, these are important here. Maneuver these in a position. Now, that's the rear planetary that we're looking at, that I'm spinning. If you look at that planetary, I can see it. There are the gears. Do you see they're destroyed there? That's the reverse planetary. Right there. They're bad. That's where that metal was coming from in the case. That will have to be replaced. You can get a used one and put it in. A used planetary for this is going to probably cost you $300–400. A new one will cost you more. That ring gear, as I was showing, that was in the case, that part goes over. That's not the ring gear, but that is the part that allows the snap ring which I'm putting over right now. That part goes down, and the snap ring keeps that in place. But when it goes bad, the snap ring pops out, and that plate also pops out. The ring gear fits inside, or fits in the planetary, this way. So you can see why it had gotten chewed up, because the gears mesh together. So remember that. Now we have to disassemble this thing. Come on now, me. Let's go. So you take out the snap ring. Now, what I want you to see is that these plates fit in a certain position. Okay, do you see that snap ring goes right there and it stops there? If you don't put it there, the snap ring won't go in, so it stops on one end and stops on the other end. Right where my finger is. And you have this big lug there, and the snap ring ends on the other side.
I'm listening. What would you charge me to build a cart for that?
Nothing.
You tell me everything I need, I'll go out and buy it. I'll get you the angle around. Somebody stole my shopping cart.
Now, these are the reverse clutches. They are all burnt. They're black and brown, and they are not flat. They are warped. which explains why he had no reverse. You can see them. You'll see they're all different type of shapes. They should be straight flat, but they are not. Now, when I'm taking off, I'm examining the gear here. Make sure that is okay. This is a sun gear. If it's bad, it's going to have to be replaced also. And there's a good chance it might be if it was in the Planetary. Now, this whole unit right here is going to have to be replaced. However, there is something in this unit also. There's a fix for this. Actually, a trick that I do to make this better on this variator. So what we're going to end up having to do is replace that whole part. Again, that part there is going to cost about $450. You're going to get the Planetary. Or you can get the Planetary itself.
Ooh, good. Yeah. Your washer fell down there. There's a washer, see?
Okay, what I'm doing now is taking loose the back covers now. These are the number 10 bolts. This is the only way you'll be able to take the variators out of this back cover. Again, if you didn't want to do this, you can buy this whole cover with both variators already assembled, and then you don't have to worry about that. You can just stick this whole piece right back into the back half of that case when we took it out. Some people sell them that way, used. Whether they're good or not, they say they are. But in this case, we're going to take them out. There's an O-ring, take that, and there's some sealing rings on that little part that I just took out. Make sure you don't lose the O-rings now. I'm taking that part off and the O-ring there. So make sure you save that O-ring, because this is a repair. If you were actually rebuilding this, you would get a rebuild kit and you would get these O-rings in it. However, a rebuild kit for this transmission is about $300 or more. So if it's just a repair, you want to save as much as you can save, because if they're still good, they will work. I'm going to take loose this flange. This holds the bearing in on this side. Now it can go both ways, but really one way, that is the better way. So what I do, I take a grinding wheel on some parts and I put a mark on there like I'm doing now, and I make sure that mark is facing me when I place it down. People call it indexing. It's just making sure you know It's just marking it, making sure you know what goes what. However, don't do this on a surface that has to be smooth. If a bearing rides on there, you messed up. So you have to know what to put a mark on, what you can and what you can't. Okay? So now what's next? We're taking loose this one. Now this one here has some short bolts, some long bolts, because there's a part on the other side of it that has to be lined up. So I'll show you how to put that so that you don't have to be trying to take that apart to line those bolts up, because if you put it in the wrong way, you're going to have to push it out to line it back up. So as we start to assemble that, you'll get a chance to see how to line that back up. Okay, on to part 4.